I will be talking about what information is leaked under concurrent attacks. This is a joint work with Abhishek Jain and Vipul Goyal. I'll just begin by describing what's a secure computation. In this model, we have, let's say, these two parties, a server and a client, and they have the secret inputs x and y, and they want to compute a joint function f of their inputs. What they can do is they'll simply run a protocol pi, at the end of which each of the parties will get the output. The security we want is that even if one of the parties is corrupt, he or she should not be able to learn anything more than the function output. This is captured by a real ideal world based security definition, in which on one hand we have this real world in which the two parties talk to each other via this protocol pi and get the outputs. On the other hand, we have this ideal world in which they do not talk to each other, but instead there is a trusted party, and each party sends its input to the trusted party. It computes the function output and gives it to both the parties. We say that a protocol is secure if for every real world adversary there is an ideal world adversary which can simulate the view of the adversary. And we will call our ideal world adversary the simulator. So far, I have just talked about a single pair of parties, but in reality, there can be multiple clients which are talking to the server concurrently, and let's say over the internet, and any subset of these parties can be corrupt. These can coordinate together and can try to launch a concurrent attack on the secret information in the server. So how do we guarantee security in this complex setting? So let's see what is the previous work in this area. So there is a huge amount of work on concurrent secure computation, and let's go into each of them in detail. So on a serious note, there have been large amounts of work in various settings, and in this work, we just focus on concurrent secure computation in the plain model, that is without any trust assumptions. So what do we know about this setting? Firstly, we know that there are some possible results for restricted functionalities like concurrent zero knowledge. But unfortunately, by and far, most results are impossible, which rule out essentially all non-trivial functionalities. There have been these explicit attacks which show that there is some information which the real world adversary can learn, which the simulator has no way of learning. So the situation does look pretty hopeless. But fortunately, things are not as bad as they seem. There have been some positive results in the relaxed but meaningful security notions, such as superpolynom time simulation and input indistinguishable computation. What these positive results in the weaker notions of security show is that not all is lost when it comes to concurrent composition. But these fail to understand what exactly gets lost under concurrent composition. More precisely, how much can the adversary benefit by launching a concurrent attack? This brings us to our main question. What goes wrong in concurrent setting and to what extent? Even after so many negative results, there is very less intuition as to what extra information can the adversary learn in concurrent setting. Can he learn the honest party's inputs in each session? If not, how much security can be preserved? More concretely, is it the case that security of all the sessions is at least partially compromised? Or is there some brighter side which shows that we can preserve the security of almost all the sessions while compromising a small number of them? Before we go any further, we need to answer this very basic question: how to quantify security due to concurrent attacks? In our work, our main idea is to allow the simulator to obtain leakage on honest parties' inputs, and this amount of leakage will quantify the security loss in concurrent execution. Such a model was formalized earlier and was used in a different context. In the rest of the talk, I will just talk about two-party computation. This is our ideal world, in which the simulator, instead of just obtaining outputs from the trusted party, can also ask for leakage on the honest party's inputs. In particular, it can send this leakage function L and expect to obtain L computed on the honest party's input. In particular, it will get this L computed on X as additional leakage, which will help it in simulating the view of the adversary. This exact number of bits which have been leaked gives an upper bound on the amount of extra information which the real adversary can learn. In this case, I have just defined one session, but in our case, we have the concurrent setting, in which, let's say, there are n number of concurrent sessions going on concurrently. We have these n honest parties with inputs x1 up to xn, each running one execution of two-party computation. Our simulator in this case, when asked for a leakage L, gets it L computed on the joint function, joint inputs of all the honest parties. And we say that a protocol is epsilon secure in our model when the total leakage obtained by the simulator is at most epsilon times the total inputs of the honest parties across all the sessions. This relates very closely to the leak-in resilient protocols. The goal there is to guarantee security against an adversary which can leak on honest parties' inputs. There also, the simulator is allowed to leak on the honest parties' inputs to simulate the real world leakage. So on one hand, we have these leak resilient protocols in which the ideal world leakage bounds the security loss due to leakage. And on the other hand, we have our model in which the ideal world leakage bounds security loss due to concurrent attacks. It is very interesting to see that the security of such different real world settings can be captured by very similar ideal world experiments. These are our main positive results. So for any epsilon, which is 1 over polynomial in the security parameter, we can come up with the epsilon secure concurrent protocol in our model for all functionalities. The round complexity of a protocol is polylog over epsilon. And we have also shown that this is essentially tight for black box simulation. And we assume the existence of semi-honest OT. What this result shows is that under concurrent execution, only 1 over polynomial fraction of the honest party's inputs is actually leaked, and nothing else is leaked. In fact, we get something even stronger. We get that security of almost all the sessions is fully preserved. This is because simulator leaks honest parties' inputs in only epsilon fraction of the sessions, and there's no leakage at all in all the other sessions. This gives us that security of almost all the sessions is fully preserved. Our result also gives security under bounded concurrency. In bounded concurrency, there is some a priori bound M on the number of sessions. So, even before the protocol is constructed, and the protocol is guaranteed to be secure till the point only M sessions are running concurrently. One drawback is that there is no security guaranteed if the number of sessions increase beyond this bound. In our work, we get bounded concurrent security as a special case. For any bound M on the number of sessions, we can pick epsilon, which is less than 1 over M times the length of the honest party inputs. If you recall the security definition, this implies that the amount of leakage allowed is less than 1 bit. Hence, we are not leaking anything. So the security of all the sessions is fully preserved. In fact, we get something stronger. We get bounded concurrent computation with graceful security degradation. By this, I mean that for any bound M, full security is preserved if the number of sessions is less than M, as shown on the previous slide. And as the number of sessions increase, the amount of leakage allowed increases very gradually. In particular, up to 2M sessions, only 1 bit is leaked. Up to 3M sessions, only 2 bits is leaked. And hence, it is called graceful security degradation. Our techniques also have various other applications. In the case of precise concurrent zero knowledge, we resolve the main open question in PPSTV. In particular, we give improved round complexity and improved precision simultaneously. In the case of concurrent computation in multiple ideal query model, we are able to reduce the number of output queries per session. Finally, our main techniques. Existing concurrent simulation strategies rewind too much. I'll explain this very shortly. We introduce these fast rewinding strategies which rewind at very few places. And interestingly, we make a connection between concurrent simulation and set covering. In particular, we reduce the core of our problem to an instance of set cover. This is the roadmap for rest of my talk. First, I'll describe the challenges in concurrent simulation. So this is the ideal world of secure computation. The simulator is required to send the input used by the adversary to the trusted party in order to obtain the output. This extraction of the adversary's input is the core of the simulation. And moreover, all black box simulators extract via rewinding. But this rewinding in the concurrent setting leads to a major problem. Let's say we have a concurrent adversary executing 2 sessions, one in blue and one in orange, and the simulator is required to extract the input in both the sessions. So let's say the simulator extracts the input in the inner session, and it is Y. It sends its input to the trusted party, obtains the output, and continues. Now to extract the input in the blue session, it rewinds the adversary and leads to a complete new execution of the orange session. Now what if the adversary uses a different input this time? Let's say Y prime. And in order to complete this execution of the inner session, the simulator is required to compute the output for Y prime. How can it do this? Since it is allowed only one call to the trusted party per session. So the problem of giving these extra outputs is the main challenge for concurrent MPC. Just to be clear, in the concurrent setting, we require to extract the inputs in all the sessions. When the simulator rewinds, it needs to give multiple outputs, and it is not allowed to do so as per the standard definition. Different ways to circumvent this problem led to positive results for concurrent MPC in different models, such that the multiple ideal query model, super polynomial time simulation, and others. Our current work also lies within this framework, and in this work, we will allow the simulator to get leakage on the honest party's inputs to get this extra output. In particular, to give the output for this Y prime, the simulator will leak on the honest party's inputs in this orange session and compute this output. The more the number of sessions with extra outputs which have to be given, more leakage and more security loss. So we have to somehow minimize these extra outputs which need to be given. But there is a problem. All existing rewinding strategies are too dense, that is, they rewind too much. If they rewind too much, that leads to leakage in almost all sessions, and we will not get any result. So our main strategy is to rewind at very few places and still be able to extract the input used by the adversary in all the sessions, while minimizing the number of sessions in which leakage occurs or in which the extra outputs need to be given. We pose this problem as an optimization problem, which we solve via set covering strategy. And our main contribution is a sparse rewinding strategy. Okay. Now I'll describe how we reduce our problem to a set covering based approach. Just to recall, the set covering problem is as follows. We are given a universe of elements, E1 to En, and sets S1 to Sm, with cost C1 to Cm. We need to find a minimum cost collection of these sets, which together cover all the elements. Just to set up some notation, any typical protocol execution looks something like this. We have this multiple question answer round, which we call slots, and the simulator will rewind one of these slots to extract the adversary's input. After getting the output from the trusted party, the simulator sends some more messages. The first message which the simulator gets sends after getting this output is we'll call the output message. This message depends crucially on the output obtained from the trusted party. In particular, I mean that to compute this output message, the simulator needs to know the output of the function. So when we try to minimize the number of outputs which have to be given, we'll in some sense just minimize the number of output messages which occur on our rewound executions. This is our main task. This is one of the concurrent executions, and different sessions have been shown in different colors. The output messages have been shown in bold, and all others are just normal messages. The task is the following. We need to choose parts of this transcript to rewind such that they together cover slots of each of the session, and we pick minimum number of output messages to minimize leakage. We'll map this problem to a set covering problem as follows. We'll assign some cost to each protocol message. The output messages, since we want to minimize the number of output messages, we'll assign a unit cost to them, and all other messages are free. The elements will be protocol sessions, since we want to cover a slot from each session. Our sets will be different parts of the execution thread. Cost of a set is the total cost of the messages inside the set. So here, let's say the total cost of the execution is C. This will be one set containing all the messages of cost C. We'll divide this into two parts, and we'll have two sets of cost C by 2 each. We'll continue this process and get these sets. So these are all our sets. Finally, we'll say that a set covers a session if it contains a question answer slot of that session. So let's say this is a part of the execution. This set has been chosen to rewind, and it covers the slots of these 4 sessions. So we will say that this set covers these sessions. When the simulator rewinds this set, it will hope to extract the adversary's input in all these sessions, and to compute the output of this orange session, it will just leak the input of the honest parties for that session to compute this output. So finally, we will come up with a set cover which has small number of sets with small cost, which looks something like this. Look at this is this is very sparse. In that I mean that this rewinds very few parts of the transcript. How we obtain these sets and how do we guarantee extraction by such a sparse set is the main technical part of the paper, and I refer you to the paper for details. In the end, our simulator will just rewind sets which have been picked in the set cover. And the final part is that less cost of the set cover implies less number of extra outputs which have to be given, which implies less leakage, hence less security loss. Just to compare with the existing rewinding strategies, they look something like this. The important thing to note is that they rewind all the parts of the execution, and hence all the extra outputs will need to be given in all the sessions. Hence, we'll have leakage in all the sessions, so no non-trivial result in our model. Some of the future directions. The first one is it possible to improve the round complexity of a protocol using non-black box techniques? And the second one is it possible to get as close to standard security as possible? In particular, is it possible to achieve standard security for most sessions, and some relaxed notion of security in remaining sessions? This can be considered as a holy grail in concurrent secure computation. Thank you.